Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? It's Mr. Webb. Happy Tuesday. I hope you didn't have too many problems with your bell ringer. So we are trying something new. In the past few weeks, you have been looking on Google Classroom, getting your answers from Google Classroom, and then telling me which ones you struggled with. But what I started to realize is that does not tell me where in your struggle you went wrong. And it also does not help you because you're just getting the right answer, but you're not seeing how to do it correctly if you didn't know how to do it correctly. It might not have just been a simple mistake. You might really just not know how to do that. So what we're going to be doing from now on is you'll be getting a video from me every day, and what that video will do, it will work out each one of these problems for you and tell you exactly how to get the correct answer. Also, be tuned in. Right at the very end of the video, you're going to hear me say a secret password. That secret password must be submitted in your Google Classroom answer when you tell me what problems you still got wrong. Because we still will be doing that. You will still tell me what problems you got wrong. Now you'll just have the ability to see why they were wrong. But also, as I said, there will be a secret password. This secret password is to ensure me that you watched the full video and that you didn't just hear it at the very beginning and write it down like some folks might do, because then that's not helping anybody. I'm wasting my time recording the videos and you're wasting your time not getting the right answers. Okay? So be on the lookout. So let's take a look here at question number 5. Question number 5 says, if the radius of a circle is 6 millimeters, what is the diameter? So, as you can see here on the back of my page here, I've got my circle drawn, and you can see that the radius is exactly half of the circle. And I know that if my radius is half of the circle, that my diameter must be the full length across the circle. So there's a couple different things I can do. I know that I can take 6 plus 6 and see that I get 12 millimeters. Or I can do 6 times 2. Either way, I know that my full length across the circle, or my diameter, is 12 millimeters. Okay, so for number 6 here, let's see. Number 6 says 701 minus 344. So we go ahead and we go flip to the back. And I'm looking here, and as I can see, 4 is a bigger number than the 1, so I must move to my next column. 4 is a bigger number than 0, so I must move to my next column. 3 is not bigger than 7, so I know I can borrow from my 7. That will become a 6 because I'm taking 100 away from that 7. I'm passing that down to this 10, to 0 to make it a 10. I still have a next door neighbor that needs to borrow, so I make that a 9 and make this an 11. Now, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. 6, 5, 4, 3. So I know that my answer is 357. Alright, number 7 says, how many feet are in a yard? How many feet are in a yard? And there's really no math for this one, because this is just knowing, if you know that 1 yard equals 3 feet, you're in the know. That's all you really need to know, is that 1 yard equals 3 feet. That's going to be that way for the rest of your life, guys, so don't forget it. Okay? 1 yard equals 3 feet. And then finally, for number 8, a closed figure made up of line segments is called a, or an, and that is actually, there are 2 different terms. The generic term, we just call that a shape. But if you want to get really fancy, we can also call that a polygon. And that just means a figure with multi-sides. or multi-sided figure. So a shape or a polygon, both would work. Okay, on to our extra practice for the day. So you had 4 problems. Problem number 1 was to convert 25/6 into a mixed number. Convert 25/6 into a mixed number. So we know that when we're doing that, we must do 25 divided by 6. And I know from my math facts that 6 times 4 is going to get me really close, because 4 times 6 is 24. 25 minus 24 leaves me with 1. So I have all the pieces that I need. Oops. Please remember that the answer to your division problem always is going to become your whole number. So, because 6 can go into 25 4 times, there are 4 wholes. And the remainder to your division problem, what's left over, is always going to become your numerator. I've got 1, and then you keep your denominator. The number that you divided by becomes your denominator. So it's 4 1/6. 4 1/6. And I would like you to see that I could have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 holes, okay? I've got 5 holes here. 5 whole candy bars. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives me 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 also gives me 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, let's take a look here. 25/6 is what I started off with. Well, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25/6, because each one of those pieces is 1/6 of a whole. So I just filled in 25/6, but I can also see that that's 1, 2, 3, 4 whole candy bars and 1/6 left over. So that's why 25/6 is equivalent to 4 1/6. Okay. We need to compare, on number 2, we need to compare 3/7 and 4/6. Well, you can find a common denominator times 6 times 7 times 6 times 7, because whatever you do to the bottom, you must do to the top. Now, I can look here and I can say 7 times 6 is 42. I'm going to just go ahead and write that down here. I know 42 is going to be my denominator, but I heard from a friend yesterday that I really can do half the work here, because I know if I'm going to multiply times 7 over here, I'm going to do the same on the top. And if I multiply times 6 over here, I'm going to do the same on the top. So why don't I just look at the same number on the top and forget about the work on the bottom? I've already done it here, but 3 times 6 is 18. 4 times 7 is 28. So I can see here that this is going to be equivalent to 28 42s. This is going to be equivalent to 18 42s. So I know that 3/7 is less than 4/6. All right. I've got 7/10 here with a big fat 7 and 3/5, and I need to add these up. Well, I need to find a common denominator before I can do anything. So I'm going to do times 2 here, times 2 here, and I'm going to rewrite my whole problem, as I always ask you to do, because it's just better for your mind if you rewrite the whole problem. So I've got 7/10 plus 3 times 2 equals 6 5 times 2 equals 10. I knew I was going to be multiplying by 2 because 5 times 2 equals 10. So there's no reason why I would multiply 7/10 by 5 and 3/5 by 10 to get a common denominator of 50 when I already had an easier denominator right here. So then, now I'm only dealing with a simple addition problem. 7 plus 6 is going to get me 13. I bring my denominator straight across. Looks like we have a mixed number here. So 13 divided by 10. Hopefully you can see that 10 will go into 13 only one time. So we would have 1 and 3/10 here as our final answer. 1 and 3/10 as your final answer. Put a box around it. Alright, and then last but not least, convert. I like to do my little loop-de-loo. Where you do multiplication down here, you do addition up here. So 7 times 3 gets me 21. 21 plus 2 is going to get me 23 over 7. 23/7. I can't reduce that because there is no number that can go into both 23 and 7. So, that brings us to the end of this video. And some of you may know that my favorite song right now is Hotline Bling. So that will be your password for the day. Hotline Bling. When you tell me what answers you got wrong, please go ahead and submit the word Hotline Bling or the words Hotline Bling into your answer as well. I'll see you tomorrow, guys.